And Swami is not going to let go of a person who has placed his faith in him, or where Swami has decided that, okay, this is my devotee, I'm going to look after him. This is how it works.
In those early years of knowing Swami, you once came and told Swami you want to stay in Perth, you don't want to go back.
Yes, I came with that intention. And it was a romantic idea in my head. So I'd already been on a trip in February. Then I felt so sort of out of it and uninterested in other forms of life. So I thought, okay, Swami is actually calling me, and I seemed to see him in the clouds waving to me. I mean, I didn't, but I saw the halo, of the cloud. They look like Swami's hair. So I thought, okay, I'll go there. So in August, after 4 months, after meeting Swami, 5 months, I went to see him, and he was not here when I arrived, but it's okay. He came after a week, called me, and he didn't seem to be happy with me at all. And he said something like, "Kya karta hai, ye ab kya karta hai?" And so I said, "Oh, Swami, I have done my BA." So he said, "Marks bhi itna acha nahi aaya ke further studies ko kar paaye," because my marks were kind of 3rd division type. And I acted like, so I'd not actually told him. I had this notion in my head, but when he was so sort of severe with me a bit, a little unhappy he seemed. So I said, "Yes, Swami, I came to ask you what I should do." Actually, the truth was, I came to tell him that I want to stay here, Swami, please accept me. And I thought he would be very pleased, and he wasn't. So I didn't say that, I just said that. So he said, kuch service karo for a year or so, and then some business or whatever. He didn't seem to be very interested. So he said it like that, a bit dismissively. And I was so shaken already, like, what's going on here? And my whole edifice of living here, it came down. And I left after 3, 4, 5 days. So I thought he would embrace me like Sri Ramakrishna embraced Vivekananda. My great devotee has come. He was not interested. He shooed me out. So that's Swami. But what happened once in 2000, I had come here for a while, and in 98. So Swami, a friend of mine and his father, I have a flat here opposite to the Gokulam. So I was staying there, and my friend and the father came around for a while. And while they were there, I had a call from the architect of the building that your friend is called Prabhupada Das Gupta, who's a famous photographer, who was also in my class and who helped me a lot in my work, for me to get work. He is called, so I called him back, and he said, "I'm doing this like a campaign for Ray-Ban dark glasses, the sunglasses, and I'd like you to come. There are 3 other men, and, we'd like to have you." So I said, oh, I've just arrived. I've just been here a week. And so I thought in my head, Swami would not be very happy to see me go. He'll think, oh, Nasir is going, I'm one of his nice devotees, and he would like me to stay. I said, "I'm not coming. You go ahead." And, So he called again after a day or two, and he said, "Yeah, come on, man. It's only just this and whatever. And they'll even pay for your airfare." Because I used to go by train normally and whatever. So I thought, okay, and should I go? Then I had a thought like, should I go? Should I not? How do I find out that Swami will not, would be happier if I go or happier I stay? How do I find out? So I had a little thinking in my head, my intelligence began to work, and I said, okay, if Swami allows me to touch his feet, I'd been there already 8, 9 days, and it had not happened, which is fine. And I will, if he allows me to touch his feet, I will take it as an indication, Santosh, Ashirvad, go. But if he doesn't, then I'll stay. So I decided, okay. So that very afternoon I thought, and I went for the darshan in the afternoon, and I got the sort of 3rd line, 1 or 2 and 2.5, 3. So Swami was walking by, but I knew that even if you have the front line, if he doesn't want you to touch his feet, you can't. He has done that to me and many other people. So I said, okay. So as he walked by, and then he seemed to come to somebody on my left, and as he stopped, he put his left foot through the gap between 2 other human beings, 2 other devotees, for about a second and a half. And I saw it and I went plunk. And I was like, wow. And I didn't even think. And there was a volunteer, senior volunteer from Orissa, wonderful looking man. And he saw this and he said, he's a very senior guy, I know. And he said, looked at me, said, you're very lucky. You're very lucky. And I said, yes, you're telling me, because he didn't know how lucky I was, because this was the plan. So Swami almost forced his foot through a little bit of a gap here and there so that I could touch his feet and I could go. So what he meant was, go, get out, do some work. Don't obsess about how important you are for me or whatever. So the next day I was gone. So Swami did that and I did my job. It was a reasonable amount of money. But that's Swami. Swami plays these incredible, beautiful leelas, he does with you. And they just leave you. And I've heard so many. That is the interesting part. I'm not the only one. In fact, when I hear from other people, it is like amazing the things I hear. Nothing compared to me. And I don't want to compare it. But for example, my friend from my school, he was cured by Swami. So I don't know, I haven't told you this right now, that his mother had been to every allopathic, homeopathic, Ayurvedic doctor, soothsayer, hakim, you name it. And his health was failing. His kidneys had failed. There's a perforation in the filters of the kidney, something. So he was in a very bad way. So Swami was the last person his mother went to see in Whitefield in 1971. And he's in my class, so I know the story to be true. And he was very sick in 1971 and 71. So Swami apparently called them for the interview, the mother and the son, and he was bloated and swelling, and he was only about 13 or something. And he gave them the vibhuti and said he'll be fine, and don't worry. And he also told the hostel warden to give that boy, my friend, food from the hostel, which is with ghee and salt and everything was there, which he was not allowed to have. The doctors had said, do not touch ghee or salt. And he had it and whatever. And he went back to Delhi and he felt a little better. He had a feeling that this may be it. I will be fine. So he goes to the All India Institute of the Medical Sciences and has another X-ray of his kidneys. They come with the X-ray and they say to him, you're not the same person, because his kidneys had healed without any interference, any treatment of any kind. The filters which had holes in them of the kidney had become whole again. And this boy became an athlete in our school after that. He was doing like sprinting. And he was amazing guy. And he's still alive and he lives in Bangalore. And I meet him every once in a while. And I've been meeting him for 45 years now. So, that is Swami's, he has done this. And his mother is, a permanent inmate here. And she's about 90 years old. And he was like, Swami just said it and gave the vibhuti. And the doctors say, you're not the same person.
Wow.
Amazing. And
even in your first visit, you noticed some miracle, which was very astounding, isn't it?
yeah, my God.